Welcome back, guys.
All righty, bud.
Long time no see. How you guys been?
Been
I've
good.
been great. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Marty.
Yeah. Great summer. Retirement's awesome. Everything's good. Traveling.
And the hair's growing
Yep.
thick.
Hair is growing a
Hair's
little bit.
coming in nicely.
I'm just going to let it go for a year.
Wow.
A
I started
year.
in May, so we'll see what happens.
Are you trimming it at all, or are you just
Well, my wife wants me to trim it, but I'm not really. No, not right. Well, no.
so soon you will?
I probably will. Yes, to
Yeah.
keep the marriage happy.
Happy life, right?
Yep. Yep. So yeah, but no, everything's great. It's been a
Yeah.
great summer.
Yeah, it has been. It's getting closer and closer to the fall, which is football season and preseason wrestling season. A lot of things going on. High school wrestling and college wrestling. The first thing I sent to you guys today was that news about Stillwater High School,
Stillwater. Yeah.
$4 million wrestling facility. What do you guys? What are your thoughts on a $4 million
Well,
dollar high school wrestling facility?
it's gonna be better than Oklahoma State's.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll share a room together. I don't know. That's crazy, isn't
We're
it?
gonna.
4.7 million.
Is it? I didn't read the article. Like just wrestling only.
Yeah, good question. I mean, most school stuff is always like a mixture of everything, but
Right.
I'm not sure how Oklahoma like does like funding. Is it like a private funding situation, or is it actually uh, you know public money? I guess doing it. I would be curious
Well,
to know that.
isn't Stillwater? Isn't that the you're going to Okie State, and that's where you go to high school the year before?
It's definitely one. It's definitely
The
an option
regular
that a lot of
program.
people are taking. Yeah,
So I mean, they're probably getting some good funding from some backers here and there, and
yeah,
that's just insane.
yeah. And then last time I was talking to those guys, they said that they're supposed to be getting a $20 million facility. So Oklahoma State right now is in the you can go on Oklahoma OSU Foundation and donate to it, but they have plans to build a $20 million new wrestling facility for Oklahoma State, and it just begs the question, are they going all in uh, to beat Penn State?
And they brought a new assistant coach in too, volunteer.
You say volunteer coach?
Yeah, volunteer assistant coach. John Smith's coming back.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
women's program.
yeah,
The what is that? What he's going to do?
Yeah, that's
That's
what I read.
yeah, yeah. I
that would
think.
be great.
But I mean, he's in your room,
Right.
Yeah, but
right?
I don't think this. They don't. I don't think it's in the same room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think. I'm not really sure, but I think they have a different facility, different training facility that they're
That might
using right
be
now.
that might be Stillwater.
No, this that has to. There's a so. What's crazy about Stillwater and what's going on in Oklahoma State is they have so many things going on, right? So Coleman Scott's out there with the farm, which is basically, their version of the Perler system, where they're having people in for weekend camps and week camps, and they're
Right.
having clinicians from all around. I know a lot of a lot of the athletes are going there and coaching and stuff like that. And then there's a Cowboy Wrestling Club, which is like the local youth club that has their own facility, and the college guys go there and train and do camps and stuff like that. Um, and then now Stillwater High School. So there's like there's a lot of wrestling going on in Stillwater.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I think one of the benefits that they are going to have is the local wrestling community will help sell tickets, don't you think? Like whether it's camps or I mean they don't have trouble selling tickets, but um,
No, and it's funny because Okie State's always been Okie State, right? It's a staple of college wrestling. It's always been one of the top programs. But you make a coaching change where you take out a legend and then you replace him with David Taylor, who everyone knows, loves, charismatic guy, and all of a sudden that Okie State enthusiasm out there just got raised up. They were level 9. Now they're at 11. It's crazy how that just changes the whole dynamic of that program.
And they got the national duels now too. On top of,
like you said, Dalton. Yeah, they're going all in. They're making a commitment that their goal is to be the best program. What's it going to take? We're going to have to throw money. We're going to have to do this. Then let's do it. Let's hold national duels where kids come in and they watch, and now they can see our new facility, and it's a recruiting tool too. So.
Yep, and then obviously the addition of the settlement, the college settlement and stuff that creates like a little bit different landscape with the amount of roster cap, and then on top of that scholarship. Again, I think it's a good time to be in wrestling. Obviously, there's some fear that some of the smaller programs are going to kind of get pushed around, but it sounds like even the mid programs are finding people to bring money into their programs. So if anything, it's a really good opportunity for fundraising for programs, and the competition is going to be tough over the next 5 to 10 years of college wrestling.
Yeah, I think you talk about the smaller programs, those mid, the top is going to keep getting boom, boom, moving. I think a gap's going to develop a little bit more among those top because, like, look at Little Rock. They have some good success a couple years ago. They got guys are all Americans, and they use that as their stepping stool to move to that. It's a bigger payday now. Instead of, hey, I didn't get recruited out of high school, I'll go here, get some money, have success, and now that'll open another door. So I think those smaller programs, I could be wrong, and those mid-level programs are going to be a stepping stone for some guys. And some guys, are at Penn State and they read it, man, I've been here 3 years and I'm never going to beat this guy in front of me because he still has 2 more. Well, maybe then they'll look for one of those, maybe a mid-major, but they're getting picked up by every other college. I mean, once that portal opens, I mean, it's every coach is looking. So.
Well, what's your prediction? Where does Iowa fall?
Marty?
Well, they're top 3, no doubt, for sure. They're going to be tough.
Yeah. Well, Nebraska's making a push as well.
They are, but it's hard to be good all the time. Hard to keep it consistent, and Iowa's done a pretty good job of that over the years. A lot of people forget how many national titles they've won, and I mean they're kind of going at it a different way now. They're kind of getting, they're getting guys that have college experience to come into their program, and why wouldn't you want to go there? What a great looking place! I mean, great facility. We'll see. I think it's going to be a great wrestling season this year.
Yes,
without
it is.
a doubt.
Yes, it is, and including transition into some of the high school stuff. There's a lot to look forward to. Last year, Hononegah came off a really good season. Lost a few guys, but some of their returners are definitely going to be exciting to watch and see how much they progressed in the off season. I feel like a couple of the Twins are probably pretty big these days, right?
As far as big like human beings?
Yeah, like weight wise.
Yeah, they are growing like men.
Yeah.
Same with Brody Sendell. Brody Sendell looks great. They're all doing great.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot of action that's going to happen. Obviously, some other schools down south, like Oregon, they placed last year, or not placed, they made it to the state tournament as a team. They had an individual who placed. They were fun to watch last year. I think Lena Winslow is going to have, they had 2 state finalists, 1 state champion returning, plus a third placer. So they've got a few state placers returning. Same with Rockford East. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Like Donald Cannon, he is out. He's Done now, right?
He
He
graduated.
graduated. Now,
Yeah.
what was the word? Where did he end up? Is he wrestling in college? Is he done?
I never heard anything.
Okay.
So, yeah, I never saw. I haven't heard anything. If he moved on, if he even wanted to wrestle after high school, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, either way, Rockford East, they have a few individuals that were at the state tournament last year that are coming back. Yeah, I think in addition to the college wrestling season, I think this year's high school season is going to be fun. There's going to be a lot of success locally. Some kids have already started the path last year, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What are you guys looking forward to the most this season, both high school and college stuff?
Well, my big thing is I can't wait for the national duels, just because it's back and most of I mean everybody but one team's there, and it's a money making thing too for the programs, which is kind of cool. So it depends where you place, but I think it's just going to be great. It's a great thing. Even if you're not at it, but to watch it on TV, it's fun to watch. It's going to be very competitive, and it's early in the season too, so which is good. In high school, yeah, I think it should be a really good season around here. Hananiga is going to be really tough again.
Yeah. College, I'm looking for the Big Ten season because every duel is going to be a grind. I think even, like you said earlier, Nebraska last year had a great end of the season competing, with the Big Tens and then NCAA, and they didn't lose a whole lot, and they brought in some hammer at heavyweight or 97, whichever he goes. Yeah, I don't know. And national duels, of course. I mean, the thing I like about the national duels is there's value to it, right? If you win so much money for your program. So I think it might entice coaches rather than, hey, I don't want to have this matchup right now with my best guy against their best guy, because that happens. There's big dual meets during the year, and everyone's like, oh, I can't wait to watch these two guys go. And inevitably, the one guy doesn't wrestle, right? They hold them out. Where I think at the national duels, you're going to see some great duels, and I think there's going to be some great individual matchups that probably have to happen. If you're really trying to win a duel, you got to throw your best guy out there. So, yeah, high school is just fun. I think high school season gets a little more fun around that holiday time. When guys are getting back to weight from football or off season, they make that wake up. Once guys get settled into where they're really going to be and competing, you got great tournaments around that time of the year, and I think that's when it's sets everything up for the rest of the year. So.
Yeah, I was putting a list together of some tournaments that I plan on making sure to cover, and yeah, obviously the Dvorak is one locally. Rockford East tournament starts off early. Again, with the national duels being early, that's another good thing that wrestling might not have to compete against basketball. Now I don't know where that it's after football's over with, correct?
No, they're still playing football.
So is it going to line up in the same type of a situation where we're competing against the national, like the bowl games or something?
No. It's in November.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean it's still in the beginning of wrestling season, and it's towards the end of football. But it's a perfect time to do it.
Yeah.
I love it early like that. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it gets.
I used to just love going to watch it.
Yeah, it creates the foundation for all the speculation throughout the season. You're going to see a lot of good matchups, like that. You'll kind of know, like, okay, this person's here, this team's this good, and yeah, it's early on in the year. Yeah, I mean, this fall I was gonna. Yeah, I don't really know where else to go in this. I'm just pumped that the kind of the season's kind of back. Looking forward to things. What are you guys thinking? Hoping that's different this season. Is there anything that that hopefully will change or? I don't know. Yeah. What is there anything that you think of that you hopefully changes this year that makes the season better? College
or
high school?
I think what Dan was saying is in those national duels, hopefully when they have really head-to-head competition against good guys, those coaches realize they're going there for that. They know that they're going to wrestle some really good guys. So hopefully they don't like pull somebody and put in somebody else. Hopefully they, when you put two teams together, that it goes into some really epic battles, you know, because there'd be nothing better than watching it go down to the last match or whatever.
And if you really want to build the sport, right, and you're throwing this national duels together, hyping it up and everything, then you have to have those matches. I mean, you can't, people are going to start turning off if they realize, oh man, well, I was really hoping to watch, so and so against, whatever. And then, it just doesn't help with the fan base.
It doesn't. You're right.
Well, another thing that I wanted to bring up why you said it was the sport. High school participation, according to the National Federation of High Schools, is up. It was over 300,000 this year for boys and 74,000 for girls. But 300,000 boys in wrestling, I think that's huge. I think the sport is, again, I've said it for the last couple of years that I feel like it's continuously getting on a upward trajectory of like people wanting to get their kid involved and being more open to it than maybe in the years past. And so that's a good trend that things are moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I was going to say what I hope to see this high school season is numbers around here increasing in programs. Getting more kids out. They don't have to be great. Just get kids out, get bodies, get kids wrestling.
Yeah, it'd be great if, majority of the teams, like in Syria, you get like start of the season, get 45, 50 kids on the team.
Right.
You're always going to lose some. It does. I mean, that's just inevitable. But it'd be great if they could just get some kids out and keep them active. And,
well, this is a good topic. A couple weeks ago, maybe even a week ago or so, I forget how long it was, I put out a post about, football players and getting them out for wrestling, and a lot of people reacted to it within the community. And I think we've been talking about it for years, and some programs definitely do it, right? They have enough kids on the football team that it kind of happens organically. But with the amount of coaches and college coaches and professional football coaches consistently, time and time again, talking about the benefit of their defensive players, their defensive line, their offensive line playing and getting involved in wrestling, I really, really hope that we see bigger numbers with football players. I think it's the biggest shift in like just our not just popularity, but just the culture of football. I think football players will benefit from it too. But I just for so many years we've been talking about it, being nice about it, but time and time again I've seen football programs not send out their kids, and it's like, at what point do you just say, well, you guys, like, I don't know, I don't even know what the repercussion is, but it's like football coaches are not only hurting, obviously, wrestling, not getting people involved, but I mean, it's just proven that their football players will be better athletes, stronger, more aggressive, more athletic, better shape. It's just, you can't do wrestling without getting those things. So it's just a workout that I hope that people are more inclined to get those kids out for it.
When I coached, I had such a great relationship with the football coaches. So I at least 2 days a week, I'd walk out and watch practice, talk to the guys, talk to the coaches, talk to some of the kids. And then the most important thing is to get at that freshman level of football. Get those freshmen out first and get them moving up through the system. In 4 years, it's amazing how good kids can be. And all of a sudden, I've had multiple state qualifiers and never wrestled before high school, but they started. But in getting a relationship with the head football coach or the assistant coaches was the number one thing for me that's what changed our whole program. We had all kinds of kids that were football players that wrestled. And it takes work, Sometimes you can talk about it, but you got to go do something too.
Yeah, well, that's what I hope. I hope that happens, and I hope, like you said, McNames, I hope the numbers go, increase. But like I said in the post, if only 25% of the entire football team from freshman to senior class went out for wrestling, the whole entire wrestling programs, every one of them would significantly increase just
No,
everything.
100%. And you go back to, you know, in the Nick 10 when there were, or Nick 9 when there were football coaches who coached wrestling, and they had that big buy-in. I always think about Mel when he was at Guilford and he coached football and coached. I think he almost made it mandatory that his football players had to wrestle. I mean, he had tons of kids out for wrestling, and again, they weren't all great, but they were getting better as athletes, and he understood that hey, these guys, it's going to make you a better football player. Because I think, I don't want to speak for Mel, but I think first and foremost, Mel was a football coach. Yeah. Someone say hi. Dalton, that's Marty.
What's going on?
Can you say hi?
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Are you in school yet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean?
McNames, you get kicked off the podcast. So you get daddy duties out today.
I'll take you golfing in about half hour.
Oh, somebody's going golfing. Lucky him.
Yes. Yeah, we got to walk over to the course, hit some balls.
Oh, lucky. Speaking of the football conversation around wrestling, I think what I'm most excited for, and this is something that is naturally happening. It's not necessarily because of anything specific, but the amount of wrestlers that I know that are golfing this fall is significantly increased since ever that I can remember. And
like, are you talking like golfer, like guys that have wrestled and are taking up the sport?
No, like high school wrestlers. High school wrestlers going out for the golf team.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Which again, I'm actually a big fan of this. I love the fact that I play with so many people that aren't very good at golf, and I never was traditionally trained in golf. Like nobody ever gave me lessons or anything like that, but I always like played golf when I was younger, and I think that is definitely helpful now because it's easier for me to swing a club today because I swung a club back then. So yeah, that is a growing trend, Marty. I mean, I think golf separately will just become the largest sport on the planet just because everyone can do it. But yeah, I've got a lot of kids that I know. Should. What was that?
I said, but not everyone should.
Yeah. Well, it depends on.
Just because you golf a lot doesn't mean you're going to be good at it.
Right.
Well, of course, but that could be said for everything.
Yeah. The great thing about golf, it is very humbling, right?
It is.
And so mentally, it has to. I mean, physically and everything, but mentally, it just, it trains you. Like you can have the greatest shot in the world, and then the next shot goes 2 yards.
Yeah,
it's like the guys I golf with. They hit a bad shot and they're dropping all these F-bombs, everything else, and I'm like, you're retired. You're not working today. You're golfing. Why would you be mad about something because the ball didn't go the way you wanted to? You just can't get upset about it. You just gotta hit another ball.
I just had a friend who was playing and had a couple back-to-back bad shots. 4 iron goes flying into the weeds. Well, no, you just lost your 4 iron, man. You're not very good, so it's not really like.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, take it for what it is.
Again, I think it's interesting. People do get frustrated easily. I think obviously golf is entirely frustrating because you think you know how to do it, and then the moment your body swings, it doesn't happen. It's just interesting how mad people get. Luckily, I tie it back to wrestling. I'm grateful for wrestling because wrestling is equally humbling, but it's humbling in a different way. In wrestling, if you kick and scream and pout afterwards, you look like a real big baby because somebody just beat you up. And so, like, why would you cry and whine because of a bad shot? Like, I think wrestling helps you get humbled without being emotional, right? It's very hard.
Do you understand, though? If you're bad in wrestling, it's going to be 30 seconds and it's over with. But if you're bad at golf, you're going to hit 101 shots or 110 shots, and it's going to take 4 hours.
4 hours.
That's what Ken Lewis used to tell me all the time. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, Marty, when they're bad in wrestling, they get pinned real quick. When they're bad in golf, it's misery.
Yeah.
It just goes
Well,
on and on.
just depends on who you're wrestling, because they might keep you in that match for a little bit longer time
Yeah.
than you want. Some people like to mess with their food before they eat it. So
Yeah.
It was great. I was talking to my buddy Bill from Iowa. We were just talking the other night, and we were talking about this guy from Turkey Valley, Iowa, who went on to start 4 years in a row in football for Iowa State. And when he was a senior in high school, he our heavyweight, which would have been in the late 70s, got into the district finals, and they were wrestling. And the kid goes, you know, I really like you, so I'm gonna let you go into the second period. And when it went into the second period, it wasn't 10 seconds later he pinned him. And I remember that kid. I was like in middle school watching it. I was there watching it because I'm like, oh my God, he's going with him. Nobody's gone with him the whole first period. That's what he whispered in his ear. I kind of like you, so then he pinned the guy.
That is funny. Yeah, but wrestling's great. I mean, to finish up, I think I want to take the opportunity, if this can turn into any type of clip or anything. Marty first, then Dan. What is your elevator pitch to anyone who is on the fence about wrestling this upcoming season?
Well, number one, it's going to change your life because it's going to teach you to have self-discipline and do things where other kids are out going to do stuff, but you can't do that. You got to work out or you got to make weight or whatever. The ability to make weight as a high school kid is a very unbelievable thing that these kids do. And it's self-discipline in wrestling is just incredible. And what that self-discipline does then, it carries over into life. I mean, you see wrestlers, I mean, those guys they're tough guys. They're unbelievable. Nobody messes with them because they're wrestlers. They see an ugly ear. They don't mess around with them. But a lot of these wrestlers become very successful in life because there was a lot of things they had to do by themselves to be successful.
I would a lot of the same what you just said, but just it's outside of wrestling what you're learning, right? What you're gonna realize what you can do as your body and what you can do mentally. You know, you get pushed to the edge of fatigue, and you're gonna learn that you can work through tough situations. Are gonna come inside the wrestling room, outside the rest of your life. You're gonna face something tough. Wrestling teaches you how to face that challenge head on. I had a kid, and this is who I'd use. You might remember Rob Larson.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so wrestled, and he wasn't a great wrestler, but you know he stuck with it all 4 years. He came back. He's a doctor now. Through med school, came back to the school one time, and I was talking to him. He goes, "You know what, McNames? If it wasn't for wrestling, I would not be getting through med school because med school's hard. But you taught us, you know, in wrestling when things get tough, you keep working. You find a way to work through it." And so it taught him. It gave him a mental mindset. You know, it's not always about being the best on the wrestling mat. It's what you're going to take away from the rest of your life, what you're going to learn. You know,
without a doubt.
Absolutely, and that's a great place to end. Thanks, guys, for jumping on. We're gonna kind of, this. I'm pumped for the season. A lot of things, a lot of momentum from last year, going into this year. Hopefully, each and every season, the wrestling community, the wrestling culture, continues to grow and improve in Northern Illinois. So next time we'll get some coaches on and start talking to these guys about their lineups and what they're looking forward to during the season.
Sounds great.
Awesome.
Great seeing you guys.
See ya.
Yep.